I'm Lexi. Welcome to Big Spoon Little Spoon. This is the first video I'm filming since James stepped back from the channel. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do about the name yet, and kind of bear with me as I find my way on things. Well, we're starting a new year, and I figure what better time to start a new series for the channel. I want to talk a little bit about family recipes. Every family's got those recipes that are handed down from generation to generation. And they may not be the most gourmet recipes, but they're nostalgic and they're the ones that have stood the test of time. So today, I want to introduce all of you to my grandma's brownies. We didn't live close to my grandmother growing up, but every time we went to visit, she'd always have a tray of these brownies and a tin of cookies, chocolate chip, and a tray of lemon bars. And every Christmas, she'd send a box that had cookies and brownies in it. So these are very much my childhood. Why don't we go into the kitchen together and I'll show you how to make them. Hi, so we're going to try something new today. To make the brownies, first you start with 2 cups of sugar, and you're going to add half a cup of vegetable shortening and half a cup or 1 stick of butter. I will put all of the metric conversions somewhere, and they will also be down in the description. Then you're going to need to cream those together using your handy dandy mixer. This is probably going to get loud, so I'll be back in a minute. See, I knew you really didn't want to listen to my mixer. After that, we are going to add 4 eggs. 2, 3, and 4. Hand's a little eggy. Wipe that off. And the vanilla can go in now too. That's 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Next is the fun part. Cocoa powder. That would be 3/4 cup. Followed by a cup of flour. That kind of went everywhere, didn't it? And then we've got 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Well, that's a problem. My recipe says baking powder, and I measured out baking soda. 1 moment. Followed by 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. We're going to mix this up again. Be right back. This is supposed to be a pretty thick batter. Sorry about all the dust, and then I was kind of choking on cocoa powder there too. In my youth, I remember these always being pretty thin, so I like to bake them on a baking sheet with parchment paper. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way so you can see a little better. Though sorry if I'm guessing wrong about where the camera is, it's above my head. So guys, can you tell me if you like it like this, where you can see me talking, or if you'd prefer the voiceovers? What works out better for you? I haven't tried editing it this way yet, so You do kind of have to hold the parchment paper in place when you spread these out. But the paper will save you a massive headache when you're trying to get them off. And yes, they are going to be really thin on the paper. I suppose you could make them in a dish where they'd be thicker, but this is just how I always remember my grandmother making them. There does become a point of no return where you're just not going to get it leveled out any better, but do the best you can. And scrape off the spoon. Don't want this goodness to go to waste. Then these are going to go into the oven for 20 to 22 minutes. Sorry, had to check on that. I will put these in and then I'll see you back at the regular set. See you in a minute. Here we are. Like I said, it's a pretty thin brownie. It's still a little warm, so it's kind of soft, but I really didn't want to wait for them to cool to eat them. Okay, so it's a chewy brownie rather than a gooey or a cakey one. It's got a good chocolate flavor. Is it the most decadent and indulgent brownie I've ever had? No, but this is my childhood. This is my grandma's brownies. And though I may make other brownie recipes, I'm always going to come back to this one. That's what a family recipe is. It's for the nostalgia and the love that we put into it and the memories that we put into it when we're making them together. Eating these brownies will always make me think of my grandma. So, Grandma, this is for you. Thanks everyone for joining me today. If you're not already subscribed, if you could hit that subscribe button and then give the video a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time on Big Spoon, Little Spoon.